Hey guys, how you doing? Luna here with a new video. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a video that's not easy for me to make because I'm finally apologizing. I'm here to finally admit that I was wrong. A few months ago I uploaded a video to this channel talking about Paul McCartney and Brian Wilson, comparing their discographies, their performance style, influence, and overall popularity. And at the end of the video I said that Paul McCartney was the winner by far, and a lot of you guys agreed in the comments, a lot of you guys disagreed, and that's the reason why I love that video so much. It's actually one of my most viewed videos. When I say it's one of my most viewed videos, I mean a couple thousands, okay? This is a really small channel. The reason why I love that video so much is because it kind of represents what I want my channel to be, okay? I give my opinion on a topic, my own personal opinion based on my own experience with the albums, and then you guys give me your own thoughts on what I said and your thoughts on the music, and that's pretty much like a conversation we're having in the comments section. And that video is like the perfect example of it because 60% of the comments are people agreeing with me, and 40% of the comments are the exact opposite. People saying that I don't know anything about Brian Wilson, that I need to research their discography a little bit more, even though I've heard every Beach Boys album and I've gone through the pain of listening to some of the solo efforts by Brian Wilson. However, if there's one thing I said that triggered people a lot in that video, was the fact that at a certain point I was talking about the performance, comparing the two, and I said that Brian Wilson was a mediocre singer, that there was nothing that impressive in his performance style, and apparently a lot of you guys disagreed with that. To the point where some people found my personal Instagram account that I've never shared on the channel and decided to send death threats on the DMs, which was kind of funny actually. But you know, because we're all grown here and we know how to express our disagreement without necessarily insulting anybody, you guys made some really nice comments about why you disagreed with me. I am so proud of this community, guys. I can't even express my happiness right now. However, there were so many people saying this, and some of you were actually being really respectful and were telling me, you know, listen to this song, listen to this album, listen to this live performance. I was defending myself in the comments, explaining what I meant, because it's not that I think that Brian Wilson's performance is ugly or that it doesn't sound good. Quite the opposite. Some of the Beach Boys albums, and actually even his solo stuff, has a lot of beautiful music, some of the most beautiful music I've ever heard, actually. So it's not that I don't like the performance, it's just that from a technical point of view, in terms of vocal skills, you know, when you compare it to Paul McCartney or some of the other contemporaries that were around in the 60s, it's clear that Brian Wilson isn't really top tier. Because my whole point was, Brian Wilson is not only one of the greatest songwriters of all time, but also one of the greatest producers. In terms of vocal harmonies, recording techniques, where to place the instruments and the singers so it all sounds like one voice, there's no one like Brian Wilson. I said that on the video, and I said that even if Paul McCartney is the winner in the overall video, if we compare the peak of Paul McCartney versus the peak of Brian Wilson takes the win. He's simply, you know, his 65-68 run was so incredible and was filled with so much amazing music that it's almost impossible for anyone to match him. He was doing everything, writing the songs, performing the tracks, recording the whole thing, mixing the whole thing, producing the whole thing, and even the mastering of the record. He was involved in every single detail, basically. But if you go to the live performances of the Beach Boys, or if you isolate the vocals, you're going to find that it doesn't really sound as good without the rest of the instrumentation, the rest of the harmonies, and the rest of the overall arrangement behind it. And it's fine. It's not supposed to sound like that because the song was conceived as a full piece of music. It wasn't conceived as an acoustic song. That's all I said in the video, but a lot of you were still disagreeing, saying that I need to do some more research on Brian's work. So I did. You know, I went back to the albums, I went back and listened to some live performances, and even some interviews when Brian himself talks about his performance style and what he likes to do when he sings. But if I'm being honest, I wasn't really finding what people meant when they were talking about Brian Wilson as one of the greatest vocalists of all time, actually. I was quite confused, you know, maybe people are talking out of nostalgia, maybe people love albums like Pat Sound so much that they reject every single form of criticism that goes on Brian's way. You know, maybe that's the case, so I'm just gonna go back and make a video about it and talk about Brian Wilson as a performer. And I actually recorded a full video that you guys are probably never gonna see because once again I changed my mind. I was looking for some videos and some audio so I can adorn the video with some editing, and I found this video of Brian performing an acoustic version of the song Surf's Up, him, his piano, and a really rough recording, and honestly that video blew me away. Actually, I think it's one of my favorite videos now. I'm gonna play a couple seconds of the video so you know which one I'm talking about. You can find it on YouTube. I'm probably gonna link it down below.
Dove-nested towers, the hour struck the straight quicksilver moon.
The reason why this video amazed me so much is because I don't think I've ever seen Brian Wilson in such a vulnerable state, okay? He was in the process of writing one of the greatest songs of all time because Surf's Up is one of the best pieces of music ever made. In my opinion, it's one of the most beautifully structured songs of all time, and this performance kind of proves my point when I say that, because the way the melody flows, the way it feels like the song never really stops, the way the chords are played with such grace and such beauty just shows how much of a great songwriter Brian Wilson was. And in a way, it helped me understand what people actually meant when they say that Brian Wilson is one of the greatest performers of all time, because his breath control throughout the whole thing, the way he perfectly hits every single one of these notes is impressive. You know, I don't think most singers out there, even if you're a professional, could perform this song with such beauty and such grace as Brian Wilson did. And it made me understand and appreciate Brian Wilson's performance style. So I have to say that even though what I meant when I say that he was a mediocre singer was that most of his talent came from songwriting, producing, and recording, I was definitely wrong. He's definitely above average. You know, this video showed that to me. And after watching the video, I revisited Pet Sounds, Smile Sessions, Friends, Sunflower, albums like Summer Days and Summer Nights, The Beach Boys Today, and even some of the surfer rock albums. And I enjoyed those albums a lot more because before I was focusing most of my attention in the vocal harmonies, in the instrumentation, in the beauty of it all. But now I focused most of my attention, all of it actually, in the performance, and I enjoyed the albums a lot more. So I was definitely wrong. With that being said, I do have to clarify that even though I'm willing to admit that I was wrong and that Brian Wilson is in fact not a mediocre singer, he's quite amazing actually. And if you want any more proof, go ahead and listen to the way he contributes to vocal harmonies in songs like I Get Around and Good Vibrations. Also songs like Wouldn't It Be Nice, God Only Knows, Sloop Chumby. You'll see that he's an incredible singer, okay? But saying that he's better than Paul McCartney, like a lot of people were saying in the comments of that video, that's a bit much, honestly. Like, Paul McCartney is one of the most versatile and amazing singers of all time. He can perform blues, folk music, rock music, ballads, pop music. He can do it all, you know, and he does it all with a lot of expertise. Saying that Brian Wilson is an overall better performer is ridiculous, okay? But I don't really want to get into comparisons right now. I just want to make sure it's clear that even though I'm willing to appreciate Brian's performance style now a lot more, I'm not going to say that he's better than Paul McCartney in that particular, category, okay? So honestly, I think you guys should watch that video. I'm going to link it down below so you can see it. It made the Beach Boy albums a lot more meaningful to me, and I know that some people will probably say that I'm exaggerating, it's just one video, but believe me, like, listening to Brian Wilson sing with such a level of intimacy, you know, as if he's alone, sitting at home, writing songs, it's a very beautiful experience that makes you understand his creative process, you know, how albums like Pet Sounds, Surf's Up, The Beach Boys Today, some of the most important albums in the history of pop music came to be. And as someone that enjoys music so much as myself, as a music nerd, as I would like to call myself, you know, I think that finding this sort of things, you know, that give more context to the history of music and how the Beach Boys discography came to be so important for music overall is something very awesome to find, you know. So yeah, go ahead and check that video out. And that is going to be pretty much it for today's video. I'm really happy that you guys made me realize how much of an amazing singer Brian Wilson actually is. You know, that's pretty much the reason why I made this channel. You know, I want conversation. I love conversation because I feel like I can change my mind on things. Like, I can see albums that I didn't like before in a new light, and that way I can enjoy them, or maybe not enjoy them, but appreciate what they meant for a lot of people. So even if this video is just me giving an opinion on an opinion I had on a previous video, I had a lot of fun doing it, and I want to see your comments down below, giving me your own little stories with the Beach Boys, with Brian Wilson. What's your favorite album? What's your favorite song? Go ahead and leave it down below so we can check it out and we can have a small conversation in the comment section. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any other videos that I upload. Also, if you want me to talk about any other topics related to music, if you want me to check out a song, album, or artist, go ahead and leave it down below as well, and I'll make sure to read it and fulfill your request as soon as I can. I do hope I can see you guys soon with another video, but until then, bye.